This changes everything for the Minnesota Vikings as they have recently dropped multiple updates ahead of the game on Sunday's prime time, including multiple surprising injury updates as well as a very encouraging update on Christian Darrisaw as he still remains out. We also have one more note, a positive note on JJ McCarthy here at the end of this video, so be sure to stick around for that. But before we do jump into this video, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about here today, so be sure to hit the sub button if you're continuing to look for your Vikings news. You're in the right spot here. Be sure to hit the sub button. We're on the road to 2K. Your sport's been incredible, and we're nearly there. So I appreciate all of you guys watching these videos throughout the season. We're going to be not stopping anytime soon, but let's get straight into this because obviously heading into Sunday's game, Sunday's primetime game, we have a lot of injury occurrences that have happened, not just last week, but also going into next game. And this is what we have in the most recent update with a full IR coming here in a moment. So be sure to stick around for that in a moment here. But the Vikings have announced the following roster moves. Blake Cashman and Ty Chandler both are going to be going on the IR. They have signed Tim Jones and Nick Vannett to the active roster, and they have signed Tyreek Funderburg, and Sion Takitaki to the practice squad. So a plethora of moves here already being made, and now we're going to touch on the IR in a moment here. But Ty Chandler going on the IR as well, who on the first play of the game, and the first play of the game, and the first game of the season, was already injured, but did playing through the remainder of the game. So Ty Chandler did something, we don't know what it was. I believe it is a knee, not sure exactly what the instance is, but 4 games, he can return. The exact same for Blake Cashman, who we expected to be out more so than Ty Chandler is. He was kind of a surprise add-on to this, but going into this upcoming game now, when we do take a look at what's going to be happening, plus the remainder of the IR moves, we also have Jeff Okudah and Andrew Van Ginkel out. Harrison Smith is officially questionable, which is, another major loss if he is out once again. But losing Andrew Van Ginkel due to a concussion, as well as Jeff Okudah, are some major losses for this game, and Christian Darrisaw also remains out heading into Game 2. These are some big losses on the defense for a team that is going to be going up once again against an Atlanta team who is hurt as well. They have Drake London playing, however, but was questionable and confirmed in today. They're going to be needing every bit of help they can on defense, especially against Bijan Robinson, who, in week 1 absolutely dominated. That team with Atlanta, Michael Penix going in, Kirk Cousins not playing now this season, is going to be a very tough challenge. And the fact that we're looking at the defense here now, as injured as it is, will cause a few issues and a lot of changes for Brian Flores here on this defense. Now, I do want to first touch on the offensive line because Christian Darrisaw does remain out once again, but will we see the same lineup we saw last week? It's going to be a big question whether Justin Skule does come in for left tackle once again, or we do what we mentioned last week and kind of before the season starts about Christian Darrisaw. Do they move Donovan Jackson over to left tackle, move Blake Brandel up to left guard, do something along the lines of that rather than having Justin Skule? And I think there's a lot of questions there because obviously Donovan Jackson played phenomenal in his first week. He didn't allow any pressures. He was all zeros across the board. And having him move to left tackle, although he did play all of their last season in college, it will be a big loss as your left guard, but Blake Brandel did play a little bit there last year, going on for quite a bit of the season, ultimately having some success there, a lot more than what we did see Justin Skule do. So I want to know what you guys think in the comments below, because we've had no information on this yet. We're going to see it likely pregame, maybe even an update tomorrow on this topic, so be sure to stick around for that if you're looking for all of your updates as it happens, because we're very timely here. We're going to have it up to date with everything, but this is one big question that is really surrounding the offensive line, and really my only question on offense heading into this week against Atlanta. Now, going into this game, as I mentioned, Bijan's going to be there. He's going to be playing well. Going into it as well, going to be Michael Penix, first season, I guess we could actually consider him as, behind Kirk Cousins for quite a bit last year. And Drake London is healthy here with Kyle Pitts taking over quite a bit of it last week as well. So this is not going to be an easy offense to play against, even though we've seen on paper they've not been the greatest over the past few years. But going into this year, it seems like they have everything clicking. Now, one thing with Christian Darrisaw as well, which really raised a lot of questions last week going into pregame, warming up, seeing how it was. Ben Gosling put this out earlier today and going on and saying, caught up with Christian Darrisaw in the locker room briefly today. He said, again, he's taking a road back from knee surgery a day at a time. I've still got room for improvement in my knee and things on the field, he said. The Vikings have made Darrisaw questionable for Monday, so he could still go through a pregame warm-up. He went to the night knowing he wouldn't play. It felt good just being in the environment, especially on the road. So that was one big update that we had, whether or not he was actually close, whether or not he was just in there to have that, warm up, see how it's going. But we now know that it was just to get really back into the rhythm. This week, we'll probably see the same thing. He is out now, but, kind of getting back into the rhythm with the Vikings on the team at home. It's going to be a good update, and hopefully we have him back for week 3. But as you see, it's a day-by-day process, so there really is no predicting it just yet. Now, heading into the defense as well. This is where a lot of questions are really going to have to be solved going into this game, because obviously Harrison Smith, questionable. We saw the secondary last week, be pretty solid at the end of the game. They started off slow, but now that Jeff Okudah and Harrison Smith is out, they're going to be needing to see some people step up. Theo Jackson, Jay Ward, likely going to be 2 that we're going to see regulars of next week as well, depending on what happens, as well as moving in to Dallas Turner as the taking over for Andrew Van Ginkel, and also Eric Wilson, someone who absolutely thrived in the position he got last week, taking over for Blake Cashman. He's going to be a player that we're going to have to keep an eye on as well, but apart from that, with this defense, it's still very good. It's just a bit thin, so going into this week, we're going to have to play smart, going to have to play some people, in more roles than what they probably do normally, but this defense is knowing that they've prepared for this, and Brian Flores is probably the best DC at this very moment in time to go out and actually, make that happen for a lot of these players. So that is just the injury updates that we have today and going into Sunday. Hopefully we do see Harrison Smith in, which is an illness that we just don't know about yet. So that is also something that we're taking day by day at this point. But apart from that, a lot of injuries that we have to cover. And I mean, one more to take a look at is just the sheer injury report going over through this week. And you see Christian Darrisaw, once again, limited. He was full on Wednesday, which is good, but limited today. And then, of course, or yesterday, and of course today going into it, we did get our final moves. But Miles Price, good. Isaiah Rodgers, good. Harrison Smith, still limited. Xavier Scott, still limited. Andrew Van Ginkel did not practice. Elijah Williams. So going through the list, of course, we know that there's only a few people out, but still, this is not what you really want to see on the whole depth chart for the injury report. Now, one thing as well, Ryan Kelly, we just don't know about him yet as well. Saying he's in, but did not practice through this week, definitely not something we want to see there, and hopefully he is going to be actually playing, and Josh Oliver as well. So a lot of stuff to cover here, but you probably do see J.J. McCarthy, non-injury related, a personal matter, he was gone. I do want to send a big congratulations to him and his wife, of course, fiance, of course, Katya. They have welcomed their baby boy named Rome. Rome McCarthy has been born. So, obviously, congratulations to him. These are bigger than football, but this is just something that, once again, J.J. McCarthy has gone through, I don't want to say adversity, but over the football as well. We know this is more important, but we see the mindset he's been in the past week as well. And I'm very excited to see how he does perform, once again, with all of this going into Sunday night against the Atlanta Falcons. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know everything that we have here today. Obviously, a very big injury report. I think that's the main thing that we really have to take day by day going into the next couple of weeks, I would even argue, especially with 2 players now on the 4-week IR. But let me know what you think about all of that. That's all I have here in this video, though. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well, and we're going to be keep on going through the videos tomorrow as well with more updates regarding, I would assume, Ryan Kelly. We're going to get some stuff there, but we have a lot to cover, but you won't want to miss it. But that's all I got here in this one. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. I'm signing out, though. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.